what's up with Sean Baligian?
What up, this is Joique Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network.
Holy crap, is this great? Like seriously, and hey boomer, you can include any old guy joke you want or anything. We're like 15 seconds ago. And Joique looks at his watch and he goes, I got this devilish watch and I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm going, my man, that's exactly how I feel when my daughter starts talking about her Twitch, switch, and all these concoctions. I have no idea what any of this technology is. Yeah. I love to hear you say that. That brought so much joy to my life. By the way, good morning. He's Joique Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. It's Woodward Sports. It's not just any Tuesday. It's a
Transformation Tuesday.
Transformation Tuesday. Joique is transforming into an old man. Welcome, brother. You want to take a walk after the show?
You know what, though? I'm proud of you that you took a walk. You went to the gym this morning.
I did, yes. Felt great.
Look at Sean getting ahead of the competition.
Felt great. Dude, I'm not going down without a fight. Seriously, I make that joke with we have this joke in my house. It's called ancient grains, right? Yeah. I have a bunch of ancient grains inside my body now. Mm-hmm. I'm just, you get old, think you don't recover the way you used to, all that stuff. And I tell my family all the time, I'm not going out without a fight.
You know the funny part, though?
Father Time's going to defeat me.
How hard was it? Hold up. How hard was it for you?
Wasn't.
To get up and go to the gym?
Nah, I was fine. It was all right. I don't feel sore. And, when I was younger, I did all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? Instead of sitting at home for the next hour, like I'm ready for the show and everything, make a 5-minute drive and go. Feel fine. It's great. No problem.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And I want you to realize
You want
that
to take a nap after the show?
I'm definitely going home and taking a nap. So
he's there. Welcome to the club.
And so I woke up at 5:50 and I get to about 6:37 and I finish like around 8:45 and then I got to rush home, take a shower, and then get dressed, come here. So the hard part isn't the waking up part and going to the gym. The hard part to see results is actually in the kitchen. The kitchen is the hard part for me. That's the hard part for you. You're never going to give up red meat. No matter how bad it is for you, you're not going to give it. You love it.
I love food.
You love food, and I'm a huge foodie, and so it was tough for me to say, no more steaks, no more of my dad's ribs. My dad has some famous ribs, just so you know, best ribs I ever had, and I had to give all that up. But you know what? It was the best decision I ever made.
Joique, I'm serious, and your parents will tell you this. Coach Winters will tell you this, because if you remember, Coach, he got himself fit a couple years ago, remember? Mm-hmm. Like, there's no other way to say it. There are things that I used to be able to get away with. I can't do anymore. I just can't. Like what? the one thing that I'm very consistent about, and like my wife in particular, is just like, I cannot believe how like you've actually been disciplined. Like, I stop eating around 7 o'clock at night and I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm done. Where like before, if I was watching a hockey game, if there was like a 10 o'clock hockey game on, yeah, I'd destroy a pizza. No problem. Whole gosh damn pizza. No problem. And you know what? It was one of those things that, like, I'm not joking. It was, I felt like a junkie. Like, I felt like a junkie. Because you're sitting in your front room and you gaze over at the kitchen, and you start to shake a little bit. All I need is a little bit, man. Yeah. Just a little bit, man. Like that. But you know what it is?
Just something to take the edge off.
Just one Dorito.
Who can just eat one Dorito?
I ate the whole bag of Doritos, and my poor daughter, see, my daughter hides things. She thinks I don't. I know where all her hiding spots are. All right? I'm showing restraint. But when, after that one Dorito, it's like then I have to go to where I know she hides her Cheetos. And Lauren, if you're watching, I know. You better find a new spot. And I respect her, but I'm worried that day that I eat that one Dorito, then it goes to stealing my daughter's Cheetos. And that's when you really know you have a problem. If you find yourself stealing your daughter's Cheetos, that's when maybe you need to talk to somebody because you have a problem.
I'll tell you this. It's so funny if you talk about hiding Doritos. I have to hide Oreos from my daughter.
See?
I have to hide them. Her mother has to hide them from her, and she hides them like in the kitchen. She found she's 3. We put them on top of the refrigerator in back of the boxes of cereal, and she found them. She said, "Oh, they're in back of this. They're in back." Or in a microwave. We put them in the microwave. She knows they're in the microwave. We put them in the cabinet on the side. She knows they're in the cabinet on the side. She knows all the hiding places in the kitchen. I took her to the mall this weekend, and I got her some Mrs. Field chocolate chip cookies. The little small, cute ones. Little cute ones. Now, I told the lady I only wanted 2, but they only came in 6, 12, in 6s. So I got 6, but I told my daughter I only had 2. I don't know how she got all 6 cookies. By the end of the day, she had all 6 cookies. I don't know how. I gave her 2. She said, "Daddy, I want to see the bag." Oh, she's too cute. But hey, you can't tell her no.
See, Steve has listened for a long time. So 10 years ago, I was doing a radio show with my buddy Tom Kowalski, and he would always, the killer, Tom would say to me, I was like, Joique, I was like $188. I didn't move for about 10 years. I was like 188 pounds. I didn't move. And Tom would marvel. This was like a regular bit.
I mean, where are you now? What, 182?
I'm not 182. Are you kidding me? More like 582. But no. Actually, I'm 226, and I'm I'd like to drop about 10. If I got to 215, I'd be happy. But Tom always used to say to me, "Dude, like, what's wrong with you? You have a tapeworm or something." I ate like constantly, and I'd eat like 5 conies at a time and stuff like that. He'd just go, "There's got to be something wrong with you," and he goes, "Oh, well, you spend so much time in the gym." And I was like, "Why do you think I go to the gym? I'm not going to the gym to look good. I go to the gym so my metabolism's sky high so I can eat more." And it's funny because that's what he brought up on here. He goes, "Didn't you used to say something to the fact that you could work out so you could eat?" Absolutely. I wasn't. You think I was working out to look good? What the hell's wrong with you? Why would I do that? I was working out so I could eat more. And then you hit 45.
Oh my God, you sound like the people on Hunger Games at the Capitol. You remember that? You remember Hunger Games, the movie where they'll eat a lot of food and they took a pill to regurgitate the food so they can eat more food?
That's right, yeah.
I never watched it.
You never seen the Hunger Games?
No, I've never watched it.
That's why you can't go to the fight.
You really?
That's why you can't go to the fight this weekend.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
No, are you serious? You've never really watched Hunger Games?
No.
I'm gonna tell you about Hunger Games. The series came out around when I was playing. So every Thanksgiving Day, the new one will come out. Every Thanksgiving Day, and so we'll play on Thanksgiving. All right, we'll go home. We'll have the big spread out. We'll eat during the Dallas game, whoever they were playing. We'll eat during the Dallas game. And then at nighttime, the whole family would get together, get in the cars, and we'll go to the movie theater to go watch the new Hunger Games. That was like our tradition for like multiple years.
That was my kids. My kids were literally like when those movies came out. That was like the world stopped. That was like all 3 of those movies when they came out. It was like, nope, Dad, that's what we're doing tonight. So like they would let me know ahead of time. They would say, well, it comes out on this date, and that was just I put a big circle.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was always like when those movies came out. Mm-hmm. We went to the midnight showing of the first one. They like had a midnight showing.
Yeah,
and the kids were like so excited. They were like, and I told my daughter, there's no way in Hades you're going to stay up, which is like the worst thing you can tell your kid because then they're like, oh yeah, they do this, you know, so. Yeah, she stayed up.
She stayed up?
I was out like a light.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, that movie is great. It's one of the greatest cinematic triumphs ever. You know how many movies I've done that with them? They drag me to see their dumb movies.
It's so funny you talk about trying to stay up. So my daughter does this thing that when I know she's sleepy, she goes, I say, you tired, babe? She said, no, there's something in my eye. there's something in my eye.
Isn't that great?
It's the funniest thing.
See, my buddy Mike jumped in. He goes,
Mike, what up, though?
He goes, the only reason to work out, so you can eat more, right? I mean, it's...
No.
He goes, what's the Hunger Games? It sounds like me and Sean battling to see who gets the first piece of brisket that falls off the trigger. I just no, we're like a divided family. I don't know if your family is the same way. My wife likes a little sauce on there. So like what I do is when the cook's almost over, I come out and take my knife and then like I put hers over there, and then I put all of ours over there.
Right.
And I'm just a perfect time to download the app. Oh, did you see that? That's a fantastic thing. So they're saying right now that the sound works on the app, Joique, but it's not working on. It's cool. Are we on? Everything's cool? We're on. Hi. You guys. Hi, we're back. You all right?
Can you guys hear us?
Now, you guys have to tell us if you can hear us.
Yeah,
okay. Rich said,
YouTube,
thank you,
can
Rich.
you hear us, YouTube?
Appreciate it. Rich said on now. So good times had by all.
Here we go.
All right, so the devilish watch. Let's finish. We didn't even finish the conversation when the sound went out. The devilish watch.
Yep. So
I love that quote.
So I was getting calls and texts on my phone, and it was loud on my watch. I don't want my watch going off during the show, so how can I turn it off?
Did I fix it for you? You got to.
You said swipe down?
Swipe down, and then there's.
It's actually swipe up. So I had to do the opposite of what R says.
Yeah.
It's swipe up, not down.
No, no.
No, it's not. I got it already. I had to swipe up to get it.
Okay, your
When
watch.
I swipe down,
you might be wearing your watch backwards then, if that's.
I'm
the case.
not. No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Well, I helped you with swiping. You're welcome.
No, you actually gave me the wrong information like you always
God.
do. Like you always do. But I appreciate it, though. We're all good, and I was in airplane mode. I don't have to worry about anything. Thank you, Art, for nothing.
I literally okay, but you.
Hold on, wait. Raise your hand.
Oh, I forgot. I'm on the one
Raise your
show.
hand.
The one
Raise
show
your hand.
that I have to raise my hand.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Joique, yesterday it was so funny. You've trained him so well. Like we're having a conversation early in the show, and Art puts up his hand, and I looked at him and I go, Art, you don't have to put up your hand. And like this defeated look came over Art's face, and he goes, I guess I'm so trained now.
He's trained. He has to raise his hand. Whenever you're on this show, Art, you raise your hand. Now, when you go to the hook, you go to the other shows, you can do what you want to do. But on this show, this is me and Sean Baligian's show, so you make sure you raise your hand. Okay?
All right, so Kenny says YouTube is good, just delayed video to audio. You're speaking Portuguese to me. I don't know what any of that means.
Everyone wants to blame me. I'm sitting in here and pressing the buttons. I can't control the audio. Just leave me alone.
Listen, I want to get into what Mel Kiper thinks, and it's funny. If you remember last week, we actually touched on this, not this exact thing, but of all people, it was me that said, okay, you know what would be in the Lions' best interest if Jared Goff turned into be a stud. Now, hold that thought for just a second. I don't expect that to happen. I really don't. I do not expect that to happen, okay? But a pipe dream scenario would be Jared Goff turns into the guy that he was 2 years ago. That's really him. He's the number one pick in the draft, and he's a flat-out stud. Now, again, please hear me out. I don't expect that to happen. But if the Lions already have their franchise quarterback in there, then you build around him. Well, Mel Kiper had some thoughts on that. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I have to get into, are we going to have a date night? Is there a date night coming up?
For who?
For you and Art. I've heard rumors, and I want to squash the rumors or confirm the rumors right now. Is there a date night coming up?
I'm too good for Art.
Oh, boy.
Art doesn't deserve me.
I'm so sick of this. I had so much more fun on the hook. I'm respected, appreciated, loved. Can we have Terry Foster Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays? I'm over this.
Yeah, we can have him all those days. He can sit behind this booth.
You do not put a legend known as Terry Foster in this booth. This is my booth.
So you're saying that he's not good enough for that booth?
He's better than this booth. I know where I stand.
Okay, no, you stand.
All right, so, no, can we, there's a fight coming up in Flint, right?
Yeah.
In my city.
Whose city?
It's like
my city.
It's like Braveheart.
Hold on, watch this.
It's my island.
Hold on, watch this. Hey, Art, can you give all the fans your full address without the number in the street, please?
48504. Google it.
What city is that?
Flint.
Yeah,
I just remembered the zip code.
What's the city?
No, listen. Joique mentioned to me, because I was talking about...
No. What's the city, Art?
I live in Holly, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. Let's be clear.
You kill me, dude.
Put the camera on Art's face.
I have to do that. I put it on my face.
Hey. Put the camera on his face.
All right, so what's going on?
There's a big fight this Friday. Clarissa Shields, which I speak so highly of her.
Yes, you're a big... When we had her on the show, you were like... True story. Art was genuinely like fired up.
And Joique was nice enough to not let me ask a single question. That was really nice of him.
Yeah, I don't want him talking to my sources.
So he goes, hey, there's fights this weekend. I said, yeah, the UFC card. I'm super excited. He goes, no, Clarissa Shields fight. I said, oh, I didn't get invited to that. He said, oh, I've got 2 tickets. Now that to me is, hey, do you want to go? So I said, are you inviting me? And he goes, well, you got to wear a suit. And I said, well, I have a suit that I wore to a funeral and graduation one time. Could I wear that?
No, you just said funeral. You just said funeral.
I wore it recently to a funeral. Before that, it was graduation.
You didn't say that, though. You just said funeral.
Oh, my God.
Does the suit still fit?
Probably not. And it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Can we start a GoFundMe for a suit?
Hey, so, honestly, we can really start a GoFundMe for Art.
I think Chad and I are probably the same size. I wear his Balenciagas. Is that how you say it? Balenciagas. Italian.
You know me, I'm a man of finer tastes, and I love fine threads.
You know, there we go, Art. Way to aim high. Way to aim high, Art.
But the thing is why would you say I have an extra ticket other than to dangle it in front of my face? Listen, I'm not going to beg. If you want to take a real fight fan with you, that's cool.
Listen, I'm not dangling nothing in front of your face.
Please don't. Please, God, don't.
Never.
Please, God, don't.
No, so no, don't even use that word. Boy. I'm not dangling nothing in front of your face. I'm looking at the camera when I say that. Trust me, never. It'll never happen.
Can you imagine a GoFundMe to buy Art a suit? Hi, I'm Sean Baligian for Art.
Man, we did buy
Art would really like to go to a boxing match with his good buddy Joique Bell. Unfortunately, Art doesn't have a suit.
Rephrase that, Sean. I don't want the people to get a misconception of what's really going on here.
So you said it just to be a jerk. Then you're a bully.
I'm just letting you know I'll be in your hood. That's all.
Okay, so Grammy
you know what's crazy? I said he said, "Where's the flight? Is in Flint, right?" I said, "Yeah." You got an extra ticket? I thought that was your city. You can't get a ticket in your city?
I don't have connections to the door.
But it's your city though. It's your city.
I live in Holly, Joique. I'm admitting.
Oh, you live in Holly?
Okay?
Oh, you claim Flint. Look at him.
Can we ask? You know what? I'm just going to use Facebook.
He's a wankster.
I'm just going to use Facebook right now.
Put it on Art's face. He's a wankster.
If you're watching right now, should Joique take Art to the fight?
You know what? Let's let Grammy Whammy decide. Oh.
Are you down with that, Joique?
Hey, yeah, she paid for his ticket. I got
you. Listen, I told him he needs to let me know in advance. I have a Google Calendar I stay strict with, and I need.
We got 7 tickets. It was 500. They were going to see 500 people at the fight. They chopped it down in half, so now it's only 200 people. A little bit over 200 can go now, and so now, like, it chopped our tickets down, and so I got to take the fam, you know.
Okay, then don't bring it up next time and put it in front of my face. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we got one vote for yes. Kenny said, "I feel like In the Arms of the Angel should be playing in the background." Lynn said 1,000%.
No, 1,000%. She didn't say yes or no.
Yeah, she didn't say yes.
1,000% no.
She didn't
1,000% no.
1,000% yes or no. Joique's 100% on point there.
I'm on point there. Oh, I miss you guys. You guys
take easy to the fight.
Hey, did you guys miss me?
Yes, of course we missed you.
Yeah. Art, shut up. You guys miss me. Fish, did you miss me over there?
Sure, yes.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Did you see Fish?
Oh my God.
All right, listen, so we're gonna get a Kiper stuff. If you think that Art and Joique should go to a night at the fights, I think it would be awesome. I think it would be a bonding experience. They gotta work some issues out. There's just maybe he can help with the hellish watch.
The devilish watch. This devilish watch. It was just so funny how when I said
it's Mama from the Waterboy.
I'm gonna tell you, this is from Waterboy.
Yeah.
This devilish
watch is the devil.
So the funny thing is this though. I'm playing with the watch, and out of the corner of my eye, I kind of see Sean when I say, "Man, this devilish watch," and I just see Sean stop mid-stroke of writing on his paper. Did you just say devilish watch? Oh my God, you sound just like me. My man.
He's old. Welcome.
My man.
I welcome you with open arms.
You know what though? I got that probably from my Grammy Whammy.
Probably break an arm while I'm trying to hug you, but
I could tell you what's going to happen. If I was blessed enough to have the one Joique Bell invite me to the fights, I'm going to have to sit there and program his watch the entire time during the fights and check his phone calls and answer his phone calls. I don't.
Joique, it's kind of a good hook.
Can we go suit shopping together? Can we please? Can we make this happen? Can you make my Make-A-Wish? I got nothing. You know what? Actually, I'm busy on Friday. I'm gonna eat gluten-free Oreos.
That's so disrespectful. Do you have an internal illness?
Oh my! Yeah, dealing with you.
That was a good comeback. I'll get you that one.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
All right, listen, we're going to come back. Mel Kiper has some thoughts on what the Lions should do, not only in the draft, but what they should do with Jared Goff. We'll get into that when we come back. So glad you could join us. Great to have Joique back, Sean Baligian, Art, Fish, Gangs all here. Glad you're here as well. Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey, want to take a moment to tell you about the perfect bracket. This is so stinking cool. Woodward Sports and Hall Financial want to pay off your mortgage. Now, you can win $500,000 if you guess the perfect bracket. Starting Selection Sunday, you will have your chance to go to woodwardsports.com and fill out your perfect bracket. And if we don't get a perfect bracket, we still have some fantastic prizes. How about first place gets a 70-inch TV, second place gets a Detroit-made Shinola watch, third place gets a 60-inch TV, and we even have something for last place, a brand new toilet. So certainly want to thank our friends at Hall Financial, D. Hall, who's done so much for the community, so much for our business. Thank you, D. Hall, and you can be a part of it. So go make sure that you fill out your perfect bracket, and you can get your mortgage paid off. And you can brag about your bracket as well, because Bracket Guy is going to be an epidemic here very soon. We all know that. Everybody's going to be talking about their bracket, pretending that they're a college basketball expert, and 99% of us will sit back and say, just shut up, okay? But, hey, you got a chance to prove it and pay your mortgage off. So certainly keep an eye out for the perfect bracket. You know what's really funny? Joique, we were talking about this last week. And again, I want to be crystal clear. I don't think a lot of Jared Goff if you watch this show. I just don't, okay? In a perfect world, my rainbow and unicorn world would be Jared Goff is like the guy from a couple years ago that took his team to the Super Bowl, that had an unbelievable year, that looked like he was the next big thing in the NFL. Okay, that would be awesome.
Right.
If the Lions made that deal and got a guy better than Matthew Stafford and 2 first-round picks and a third, that's the greatest deal in the history of mankind. 30 years from now, we might be talking about that almost in the same light as Herschel Walker. Wait a second, you got a better quarterback, 2 first-round picks, and a third-rounder? It'd be unbelievable. There's a reason the term is called pipe dream. There's a reason why Jared Goff was dealt out of town. I don't expect that to happen. I just don't. Yeah. But Mel Kiper Jr.
My thing is, what is it about Jared Goff that makes him stand out more than the talent that's in the draft this year? What makes him stand out more? He's been to Super Bowl. What makes him stand out?
Which is a great question. I think
that's what, so when we sit back and we say we want to build around a certain quarterback, why him? Because he's been to a Super Bowl when he had a great defense. He had a good year that year as well.
He was outstanding.
Yeah, he had a
really
good year.
was.
No, he had a good
was.
year that year.
Yeah.
He did. Mm-hmm. But did he make his defense better, or did his defense make him better?
I think his defense definitely made him better, because the defense put them in a position to win that Super Bowl, and that offense did nothing. Really, that offense did nothing that game.
And it was just certain things I've seen Jared that he has to improve on before I'm sold on him as being a legitimate franchise quarterback.
100%.
I need to see him under pressure. Like, I've seen Matthew Stafford under pressure. I've seen what he's able to do with 2 minutes on the clock and we're down by 10. I've seen it. What I don't know if Jared can, and this is with a bad defense. All right, this is no defense helping him, just him on his own. Him and the offense going out there and making something happen. I need to see that from Jared Goff before I say his arm strength isn't nowhere near as close to Matthew Stafford. He can't make the same throws that Matthew Stafford can, and I'm just not sold on it.
No, and I think you guys know my opinion from day one. I not at all. I mean, Zero's not a
stand-in. He's a good stand-in.
I think that's all he is. I use the term placeholder.
As far as right now, if he comes out this year and he has a great year, and then if he has a similar year to his Super Bowl run, I would say, okay.
I'd cry tears of joy.
Right. I would do that.
Really?
Right? I would do that. But the past couple years, let's say played all 16 games last year, threw for 626 passes, completed 394, 62 completion rating, 22 touches, and 16 interceptions. That's not going to cut it here. Let's take it to 2020. Missed one game, threw for 370 out of 552 passes. Completion rating is 62, 20 touches, 13 interceptions. That's not going to cut it here. It's not.
He's been a turnover a game guy. I mean, it's sorry.
Yeah.
He hasn't been good. There's no other way to say it.
Right. If he brings that here, that's going to hurt us more than it'll help us.
You know what's interesting, Joique, and our buddy Scott Bischoff brought this up to me, and he said, I don't know the answer to this question. He said, but is this an indictment on Jared Goff, or is this an indictment on people figuring out Sean McVay? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't. I don't know the answer to that question. No doubt about it. I happen to think that I just didn't see a lot of good from Jared Goff. I mean, I didn't, And coincidentally, when you have a backup quarterback first getting you into the playoffs, and then they handed the backup quarterback the starting role for that playoff game, when the starting quarterback's going, I'm fine, I can go. Now, in fairness, Jared Goff was the guy that came in on, the second play of the game, and they ended up beating Seattle. But that goes back to your point. That was more an indictment on what that defense did as opposed to what Jared Goff did to the Seattle Seahawks. So that's an interesting point. Hi, Art.
Wouldn't we want a safety net by drafting a quarterback? I mean, with this, there's so many questions around Jared Goff that is he going to perform just like Stafford?
100%.
Yeah, so wouldn't you want to draft a quarterback for a safety net?
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think we waste a quarterback. I don't think we waste a pick on a quarterback if it's not who we truly want.
Yep.
All right. Then in that case, let's pass on that. Let's get what we need, and then if we need to get a quarterback later on in the draft that we feel might be able to have some type of upside, some type of potential, we go get a quarterback later in the draft, or we save it for the following year. Like we have time to get one. And
that's the Joique is 100% right. The unknown when we have this conversation today is I don't know what Brad Holmes and his staff thinks of the quarterback class.
Right.
For all I know, for the sake of an argument, we'll try it both ways. They love Lance. They would be happy as a pig in slop if Lance is there at 7. I don't know if they do or not. I don't, okay? This is where you have to trust your scouting department. The flip side to that is there's not a snowball's chance in Hades they're taking Lance. They don't want to take a chance on Lance. They don't think that if they sit him for a year or two, they don't think that they can unveil him and he'll be Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or whatever the case may be. They want no part of him. I don't know the answer to that question right now. So just point blank, I'm speculating. I guess we'll find out if Lance is there and they don't take him. That'll tell us all that we think they know about him. But Joique, I agree with you. They don't have to do it now. They don't have to do it this year. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, the quarterback class looks bad next year. It might, okay? But a lot can change in a year. Guys can skyrocket in a year. We've seen that happen time and time and time again, where a guy was just way off the radar and all of a sudden, boom. Hell, I'll give you a great example. Zach Wilson, whom I love. There were people just 4 months ago that thought, it would be great to take a flyer on a guy like that in the 3rd or 4th round. There's no way in hell he's there at number 7 overall. No way in hell. But it's crazy when you think about it, 6 months ago, less than 6 months ago, this guy was talked about as a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. I mean, that's how quickly things can change. So when we sell ourselves to, well, this quarterback class next year doesn't look good. Well, you're right, but it can change. Right. That's the one thing that we see time and time again. So, Joique, I agree with you. You are not beholden to take a quarterback this year. You're not. You don't have to take a quarterback this year.
You sit back and you look at the position that we're depleted on, that we have limited, if not depleted, lack depth at a certain position. Where do we go first? What do we need? All right. And I look back, and I'm going to take it back to what we always talk about, the trenches. All right. But who do we have that can go in the first round that we can put in the trenches to help make us a better team? Do we go get a quarterback? Do we go get a receiver? If anything, I'll say we grab a receiver. And it's not because I don't want something to happen to the point to where we miss on the next OBJ. You know? So, and I know that's still killing you on the inside. So my question that year, would you rather have OBJ or would you rather have Aaron Donald?
Now, if I'm being 100% honest, 100% honest.
Then OBJ, now Aaron Donald?
Without the benefit of hindsight, I was screaming for OBJ. Right today, with the benefit of hindsight, how could you not say Aaron Donald? As great as OBJ has been, and he has, how could you? Aaron Donald is a generational player. I mean, he is. He's a generational player. He's unbelievable. At the time, 100% I wanted OBJ. Because I told you, I thought your team was this close, and if you got a bump on offense, if you got like a playmaker on offense, I thought that team could have done some damage.
That's why they went out and got Eric Ebron.
He wasn't bad. It just, to me...
In college, he wasn't bad, or on the lines, he wasn't bad?
I think he eventually turned into a decent player here. I just think, one man's opinion, that position doesn't lend itself to a guy coming in and being a real big difference maker your first year. There are too many moving parts for a tight end. You know what I mean? And it's funny because Lomas, I had a really good discussion about Lomas when the Lions drafted Hawk, and he said, there's blocking assignments, there's the playbook. There are so many moving parts for a rookie. It's almost like you're bombing him with information. And so the two positions that we kind of talked about that are really difficult on rookies are cornerbacks because you're on that island, and tight ends because there are so many different things going on. So I don't think Eric Ebron ever had a chance here. I really don't. I just think that people were always going to look at Aaron Donald or OBJ. Now, the guy that I really wanted, and I knew it was a pipe dream, was Mike Evans. Mike Evans is sick. I think we all know that down in Tampa. But I knew there was no way he was gone. And he ended up going pretty much where everybody thought he was going to go, to Tampa. But Joique, I just didn't think that a rookie tight end could come in and be that oomph that your offense needed.
No.
But I understood the logic. I still do. Like, to get Martin's back, and I'm serious. You guys can get pissed at me. That team needed a push on offense. You did. You needed a push on offense. Yeah. I understand his logic. Let's give this offense a push and let's see what happens. It just didn't come to fruition. Sorry.
I'm telling you.
I hate to go back there, dude, but
yeah. If I'm a GM, I'm going for Aaron Donald, and then I'm also pulling Dave Osbury on the team as well at the tight end position. Just a tremendous upside with him. And talent knows talent. All right.
You guys
he wasn't a big name. He was similar to me. He wasn't a big name. I think he was going on year 4. And he came out, and I didn't know who he was when he was out there on the field. I must have saw him practice, and I said, "Hey, who was that? Who was that?" He ran a route, caught the ball, turned the sideline, and just separated from everybody. I said, "Who was that?" I saw that on the field. I'm like, how do we not keep this guy on the team? He broke his finger. He couldn't play during the. It had to be a numbers game, and I think that's the only reason he didn't make the team. He went on IR, finger was broke. He was out for a few weeks.
So hearing you say that, and again, we have the benefit of hindsight here, okay? Who would I rather have help out that particular football team? A guy that, is kind of that new breed of tight end in Eric Ebron, who a lot of people envision was going to be another Gronk, another Tony Gonzalez. Well, he hasn't got to that point. Guy did make a Pro Bowl. Let's give him some credit there. Or a guy that already knows what his assignments are, that already knows what the playbook is, that already knows when to differentiate between staying home and picking up a block and which block to pick up, and knows the playbook like the back of his hand. I'm sorry, I'm going to take the veteran every day. I'm going to take the veteran.
And I'll say this, and this is speaking from owners, not the owner, but like the GM perspective. All right, we could bring in OBJ. We have this guy at tight end. Now, his hands are just as good as Ebron's. His speed is just as good as Ebron. His blocking skills is a little bit under Pettigrew's, but it's good blocking skills. He has good blocking skills. Good weight on him. Let's go with him. It'll be cheaper. We can get in some more talent. And he knows the game. It won't be as hard to coach him. So we'll go out and get an OBJ, or we go out and we add to this vicious D-line with an Aaron Donald. You have so many options, so many ways you can play it, right? So many ways you can play. But if you don't draft or you pick up some type of offensive player that can help the offense to get an offensive push, and then your offense is what lacks the following year, what does that say to you as a GM? Mm-hmm. So he has to make certain moves. Sometimes the moves has to be appeasing to the fans' eyes. You
know what's interesting? Kennedy, and shout out to our girl Kennedy, always does such a great job putting this show plan together. She asked the question, and she said, let's ask people, do you believe in the number one pick of the 2016 draft? And I think it's a great question, because this goes to something that's near and dear to my heart. My job, and I take my job seriously, my job does not afford me the luxury of the word hope. Okay? That doesn't mean that I'm always going to be right. And I'll say it once, I'll say it 100 times. I'll be the first guy to tell you if I wasn't right. And I told you, Joique, one of my favorite quotes that I heard was a quote from your old coach, okay? This is just as Jim Schwartz's legacy to me. Hope is not a strategy. I love that. Hope is not, I cannot use hope as a strategy. And the way that I would answer the question that Kennedy asked when she said, do you still believe in the number one pick of the 2016 draft? If the answer is yes, you're basing it on hope. You're not basing it on anything that you've seen the last couple of years. You just aren't. You're hoping that the real Jared Goff is the guy that took the Rams to the Super Bowl in 2018. You're hoping. Okay? But the reality is, and Joique gave you his numbers just a few minutes ago, the reality is Jared Goff has been a completely different quarterback the last 2 years. So you're hoping that A, he's the guy from 2018, and B, you're hoping that the issues with St. Louis, there I go, St. Louis, yeah. The issues with the Rams were not Jared Goff, but they were Sean McVay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still hope. You're hoping that Jared Goff is the guy from 2018 and not the guy from 2019 and 2020.
And we'll give you this too. And we'll give you this too, because this has been him his entire career. So his completion rating in 19 was 62.9%. In 2020, it was 67%. The year they went to the Super Bowl, he was at a 64% completion rating. But they were playing better. He was playing better. He threw 561 targets, completed 364 of them, right? But threw for 32 touches and only 12 interceptions. So he was just better with the turnover ratio. But even 12 is kind of high. But you look at that ratio, it isn't bad. 32 touches,
Heck
12.
Yeah.
So
I'll take that year all year.
Yeah, I'll take
all
that.
Day.
I'll take that all year.
Yeah.
But that is still a issue with turnovers and protecting the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting because, again, in case you're just joining us, Mel Kiper says the Lions could have their pick of quarterback at 7, but he thinks they should pass, saying Goff is 26 years old. He's been to a Super Bowl. Maybe they should just build around Jared Goff. Well, again, I'm going to use the H word.
Yeah, let's build around him for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Let's build around him and pretend he's a franchise quarterback because he isn't.
Now he comes out, he plays well these next 2 years. All right, these numbers go up. The interception rate goes down. Right, he starts to protect the ball a little bit more. Then what? Then we keep him around. Now I'm not saying we don't go get another quarterback, because that's been our mistake before.
I couldn't agree with you more.
We still go get a quarterback. Bring some competition to that quarterback room. All right.
Don't listen, okay? And I used to be one of those guys. The quarterback is the most important position in football. Period. End of story, okay?
You think so? You think it's more important than the right guard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just making sure.
But Joique. the Lions have been awful selecting their backup quarterbacks. They've been awful. They've been absolutely awful. And I'm sorry to all the people out there, well, you're not going to go win with a backup quarterback anyway. And I used to be one of those guys. You know what? If you got a team built around them, ask Mr. Foles if you got a chance to win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Ask Nick Foles. They did. Their can't-miss superstar who was having an MVP season blows out his knees, done for the year. Holy crap, we got to go with Nick Foles. Good luck with that. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, man. Like,
and what game was that when he broke? Was it
Chase
like
Daniel comes in and leads the Lions to playoff glory. Said nobody. Like, knock it off. When did he get hurt? His 13th game? It was
13,
later in the year.
It was late. It was 13th.
It was like 13th or 14th game. It was later in the year.
It was like 12 or 13.
Everybody thought the Eagles were done.
Yeah.
They were done.
And did they win out?
I don't remember if they won out. But they won when it counted.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most important thing. All right, so I have to ask you about something. See, I'm convinced that, like, Kennedy does these things to make me feel like an old man. I have to ask you about Wes Shecker. What's his name? Wes. What?
Sheck Wes.
Sheck Wes?
Yeah.
Wes. W-E-S.
Yeah.
Wes.
No,
Sheck Wes.
Yeah, Wes.
What is Sheck Wes?
He's a rapper, I think. I don't know who he is either. But, she said, this is where Joique, teaching him some things. I said, I don't know
What was
who he
the
is.
other thing I didn't know about the other day because my daughter was making fun of me? There was something last week, and she goes, you don't know who DJ Slime is or whatever, like...
DJ Snake?
Now, I know who DJ Snake is. He's that French DJ.
That would be Little Uzi Vert.
Lil Uzi Vert.
What is that?
You don't know Lil Uzi Vert?
No, I don't know what that is. Like, and even my daughter said to me, she was like, Dad, you don't know who Wheezy is? And I was like, the Jeffersons?
You don't know. Come on, you got to know Lil Wayne. You know Lil Wayne.
Oh, I know Lil Wayne.
That's
yeah, that one
That's
I know.
Wheezy. That's Wheezy.
I know. Yeah, sorry.
Sheck Wes is a famous rapper. He had a song called Mo Bamba. No, anything?
That was a great. I remember seeing that. The story of Richie Valens.
Yeah,
remember La Bamba? That was a great movie.
It's about NBA player Mohammed. Never mind.
No, wasn't there another one, Art, that I didn't know about?
You're thinking of La Bamba. That's a different song.
That's a great movie.
That's like centuries before.
That damn Bob was such a jerk. No, Art, come on, because you even laughed at me. You were like, how do you not know who... I forget what it was. Was it that Wheezy?
Okay,
Wheezy
knows
Bird?
now.
Wop.
Wop, wop, wop.
We can't say the words on the air. It's like...
Oh, okay.
No, Sheck Wes is signed to Interscope Records. He's from New York. He's a famous rapper, and we're going to talk about him coming up.
Steve said Deshaun, no Mo Bamba. That's the guy you're talking about, Richie Valens.
No, the song isn't called. The song is called Mo Bamba. The rapper is just never mind. Just forget it. Joique's in the zone. You're questioning everything.
Yeah.
I can tell you all the Stanley Cup champions and Conn Smythe winners and Super Bowl champs. I can do that.
But that's the only song he has out that I know of.
Yeah.
He really got famous off this song right here.
We're talking about Sheck Wes.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Sheck Wes.
The song Mo Bamba went like 5 times platinum.
Yeah, it's a good song actually. Yeah, it's like a song that you listen to before a game or something. Yeah,
and it's called Mo Bamba. I gotta listen to this.
Mo
Bamba.
Really,
I gotta listen to this jam.
I gotta listen to this. We're gonna play Jam It or Slam It when we come back. Good morning, everybody. 50 minutes after the hour of 11:50. So glad you could join us. Hey, what's on your lunchtime mix? We'll hit that at 12 o'clock. First, here's my man Joique Bell with La Bamba. I walked that post up, right? What's it called?
Turn me up, quick.
It's called Mo Bamba.
Turn me up, Art.
All right, Mo Bamba. All right, so listen, we're gonna go to a break, and I'm gonna listen to Mo Bamba, and I'm gonna tell you guys
the whitest
Hold
person.
on real quick. I gotta say this though. So all the new rappers, before a song comes on, they have like their hashtag. It might be like "Turn me up, Quay." Or give me like another
or
one.
A mustard on the beat.
Mustard on the beat.
He already said this.
Listen.
Calling. Okay, then he
Hey,
swore
hey,
again.
don't
I'm done
the
with
culture.
this.
That's for the culture.
All right.
Shine for the culture. I love it.
All right.
Hey, Fish, you heard that song before?
Fish, do you know that?
I have not heard that song before.
It doesn't surprise me. All right, we're going to the commercial. I'm Joique Bell, that's Sean Baligian. Stay tuned.
It's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Wait, no. We're not. But before we talk about like Wesley Schneck or whatever his name is,
Sheck Wes.
So this guy,
Lil Uzi Vert.
he put a diamond, diamond in his head.
Yeah, in his forehead, right here.
It's a 10-carat diamond. If it gets removed, he could actually die. And it's like a 24 million.
What is he, Iron Man? It's Tony Stark.
Yeah. I'll post the picture.
No, I'm being. Why? If he gets it removed, why could he die? Is like
Here's the picture. Look at the monitor. So that's the diamond implanted into his forehead.
That's a handsome fella. What?
Yeah, so he had to get it surgically put in, and if it comes out, he could die. But literally, he has a $24 million hit on his head when you think about it. Like $24 million embedded into his skull.
So
why? But why? Like, did he? Is it for health reasons, or he just decided to do it? And they said, well, if we do this and you take it out, you could die.
He's been saving for years and years and years. And in an interview, he said that he doesn't focus on cars or money. This has been the one thing that he's wanted his whole entire life. And there's like there's a conspiracy theory behind it. That he's doing it and he's gonna die soon. Like there's this whole thing about it because he wants to join the 27 Club. It's a whole thing. If you look,
what's the 27 Club? What's that?
So Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin are a part of the 27 Club. You make it to 27 years old,
so
and
I
then
do know
die.
that. Yeah, all these famous entertainers that died at 27. It's called the 27 Club. Like, yeah, that's like evidently that's a real thing.
So according to this story that I'm reading right now, the diamond is actually magnetized, so he can remove the gem at night, or he could wash his face and put his shirt on. So it's like an Apple laptop charger embedded into his skull. I don't know.
So he won't die if it falls out.
What the hell?
I'm reading like different. Some say that he can, some say that he can't because of the magnet. It's not so much the diamond, it's the magnet. Like, what happens when you go to the airport?
See, at least there are two people out here. Lynn said, don't feel bad, Sean. I'm just as lost as you. Jenna said, I was too. I don't know these rappers. I'm completely lost.
I'll tell you this. I never really liked that new generation of rappers. I never did. And so I thought they all sound alike. And so there's one rapper that I never gave a chance because I thought he would sound like the other rappers. So I never listened to him. But it is one rapper who sounds different from the rest. And I saw a tweet or IG post of one saying that this guy is the new generation Lil Wayne, and that's Lil Baby.
Lil Baby's top tier.
Yeah, he's top tier. And so I actually really like Lil Baby. He has some bangers. Like Lil Baby, he's nice.
Lil Baby and Lil Durk.
All right, so I grew up. Listen, I grew up in the era. I grew up with the OGs. Okay, seriously.
The OG, Tupac, Biggie, like
well,
those.
even before then. Like seriously, I mean, for
Run
me,
Run DMC,
Big Daddy Kane,
Run DMC.
Okay, NWA. Like, I mean, when NWA came out, I don't care. Like that was, boom. I mean, it was just. Boom.
You remember when they came? You saw that? Did you see the movie?
You know who I saw in concert? You're gonna laugh at me. You ready? I saw PE in concert.
Who?
PE, Public Enemy.
What?
Oh, Public.
1989, the number. Another summer. Get down. Sound of the funky drummer. Come on, dude. What is going on? Shut freaking D.
I didn't know he had it in him.
Elvis was a hero to most. I don't even get me started. I saw Public Enemy, Kid and Play, and X-Clan at Joe Louis Arena in 1990.
You've got street cred.
You know why?
L-Town, baby.
L-Town. They knew.
Wow.
Flavor and I knew what time it was. Seriously. Get up or get down. 911 is a joke in Yo-Town. Don't get me started. No, but listen. That's like, I grew up with that stuff. Somewhere along the line, like you said, maybe I turned older or something. It all sounded the same to me. It wasn't unique anymore to me. You know, I mean, like, whether you agreed or not, NWA, right? Like, NWA had something to say, and they said it. PE had something to say. Big Daddy Kane just talked about all the hoes that he was getting with and everything. But, like, you know, it was different. It was new. And somewhere along the way, it just kind of started all sounding the same to me. So it's funny to hear you say that, you know, from a generational standpoint, because, like, same with me. It was like, all right, this is cool. This was new. It just all sounds the same now. That's the way I feel.
Dang.
Yeah.
Question.
It does.
We're talking about Sheck Wes right now. He signed with a pro team. What rapper would you like to see play a professional sport?
J. Cole.
Now, back in the day,
Perfect.
Back
J. Cole.
in the day,
Perfect.
wasn't Lil Bow Wow a pretty good basketball player?
No. You think Lil Romeo?
Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo.
The Master P's son.
Yeah, Master
Actually,
P's son.
he played.
Lil
he was a
Romeo.
rapper.
Bow Wow
He
could
played.
hoop,
He played at UCLA. Played at UCLA. Was it USC?
I think it was USC.
Yeah, it was USC. Played at USC, and then he wanted him to go play professional, but it didn't happen. P. Diddy's son went to UCLA and was on the basketball team, and his coach said something to his son that he didn't like, and P. Diddy jumped out the crowd. You remember that? Jumped out the crowd.
That. Yeah, I remember that.
You know, you mentioned J. Cole. I'm going to put my pride aside. Chris Brown is one of the best ball players in the history of, like, who could be an artist and a ball player.
No,
Chris
he's not better
Brown
than
can
J. Cole.
hoop.
He's not better than J. Cole. But Chris Brown is good.
Yeah, he's good.
Chris Brown is good, but he's not better than J. Cole. J. Cole, literally practiced and plays pickup games with NBA players and holds his own.
You would love J. Cole. You would like J. Cole.
Like, he even had, it was even some propaganda of him having a trial for the Pistons. You remember that? I talked to Troy about that. It was actually.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
See, here's and this is what comes up because we were all laughing about this the other day. Like Terry posted yesterday. He said, Terry Foster. He said these guys are crazy at Woodward Sports because they all think they can fight Darren McCarty. They think they can tackle Joique Bell. And I said, don't include me in that mix. No way. Even
Who
when
said that?
Now Terry Foster said that because remember the guys in the morning were talking about.
It was Sticks. Sticks said that he could take a tackle from Sue, and then Foster asked me. He said, "Do you think you could take Joique or Darren?" And I said, "Listen, this is all a bit. In real life, absolutely not. If Joique and I were boxing, he would murder me. The only chance that I would have is if it got to the ground, and he would probably still murder me. But Stick is like in La La Land, thinking that he could take a tackle from Sue.
No. And that's so Terry brought that up, and like, listen. Even when I was younger, and Mike, if you're still watching, you could vouch for this. I wasn't right in the head. Something broke, okay? But you know what, Clint Eastwood? A man's got to know his limitations, okay? If I'm looking at Joique Bell, I don't care if this was buff 200-pound Sean. Joique, you're just a larger man than me. Chances are you're going to destroy me.
I'm not going to destroy you.
No, but you know what I'm
your
saying.
Yeah.
It's so when I hear guys do this, and that's why more often than not, we had a mutual friend. I kid you not. I wish I'd make this up. Kid could fly. He was just one of those kids. You looked at him, he was that wiry guy, and he could fly. Never played a day of football in his life. Not one. Never. And at 22 years old, he announced to us, man, I missed my calling. I could have been a wide receiver in the NFL. Okay, what makes you say that? I can fly. Well, you can. You can fly. And so can Willie Gault. And there's a reason why he didn't last in the NFL. And by the way, he's also a lot faster than you too, right? But he was convinced he was going to go try out for a National Football League team. You know how they have the
what they call that, like the regional combines?
Yeah, he could fly. And you know what he found out?
What?
He went there and he was the 6th fastest guy there of guys off the street. It's like you're out your mind. Like the people that do that. That's why when I hear stories about Sheck Wes, like good for him. Going to play for a pro team?
I wonder, out of all those regional camps they have or those regional combines, how many of those guys really get a shot? How many? And it might be one or two here. I've never seen one.
Do you know what the thing is? Everybody thinks they can be Vince Papale, the guy that played for the Eagles, Unbreakable. Unbreakable, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis was a football star though too.
Who played this character?
Wahlberg. Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
I could destroy one of those burgers right now. But
I haven't had one yet.
Do you know what? Everybody, like, in the back of people's minds, they play the "I could have been something or somebody" thing, and that's.
Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
That's exactly it.
Like, there's so many people. That's why I don't watch fights at bars, because it's always the drunk guy who's like, "You gotta do this. You would do nothing.
Nothing.
You don't understand any. Like
every time Art starts talking, I just can't stop just looking and saying, "Did you raise your hand?" I just can't. Did you raise your hand, Art?
He did.
I did raise my hand, sir.
Who called on him?
I did call on him. Do I need your permission to call on him?
I thought we talked about this already.
You guys talked about this behind my back?
No, it was on the show.
Art, you know what? I was very fortunate. I had some friends that I have a couple different friends that made it to the highest level, okay? And here's the thing. One friend in particular, and I'm not going to say his name, he knows who I'm talking about, was so by far and away the best player in the area, it wasn't funny. He was the best hockey player in the area. And if you asked Joique, it was one of those things, if you asked everybody else in the area, they would have said he was the best player in the area, all right? And so when you get a chance to see a guy who's sick good in person, I don't care what anybody says, it gives you a different perspective. But here's the reality. He only got a handful of games in the National Hockey League. As good as he was, as flat-out dominant as he was, he only got a handful of games in the National Hockey League. Now, today, with the game being different, he probably would have had a nice long career, but back then there was a premium on size, and he just wasn't the biggest guy on earth. But I told him, like, if he played today, he'd have a 15-16 career. But that tells you how difficult it is to go play at the highest level. And I don't, like, honestly, I can't tell you how many people, they have a disconnect because, you know what, maybe one day they had a good day and they I remember Joique Bell. I shut him down my junior year. 3rd and goal, Joique Bell runs into me. I brought him down.
Never happened. It'll never.
But you know what?
There's no stories out there like that.
No, but you know what I mean? I mean, like, maybe that one time a dude tackled you or whoever, and they think because of that one play, their one shining moment, everybody else missed out on this gem. I could have been somebody. You know, and it's crazy how people are kind of delusional like that, man. And that's when women sit back and laugh at us because men are crazy like that.
No, it's true because, honestly, that's true because even when I played in high school, I would tell you, I wasn't the most talented player on the team. We had a lot of guys with a lot of talent on our team. Andre Osby. We had one of my closest friends, Marcellus Burton, played wide receiver. Nick Matthew was a good wide receiver. We had a guy on our team called Porky. His name was Porky. I don't know how he got the name Porky.
I'm a big fan of Porky.
Yeah, his name.
Something tells me Porky and I could have a good time. Mike, let's look up Porky and bring him over to the house for a barbecue.
Yeah, my cousin Lonnie Butler played quarterback, but he transferred right before the season started. He had been on varsity for, I think, 3 years. I had been on varsity 3 years, but I got to varsity the last game of my sophomore year. He was a starting quarterback as a sophomore, and he was really talented. So we had a lot of guys who Darius Buckles. We had a lot of guys who were good, but
Terry brought up a funny story. He goes, "You got to come down to the barbershop sometime because it's always funny." And he used exactly like Art. I don't know if you caught this. He used all the nicknames that Joique just used.
Yeah.
He said at the barbershop, he said, "I just sit there and I laugh because you hear about guys like Chuckles and Porky and Little Bow Wow, and you know they always have nicknames. And basically, what happens? You hear these and you go, well, why didn't that guy make it? Oh, well, that guy had an issue. Oh, well, that guy, you know, that guy ran into some trouble, went awry in the law. But there's always some dreams deferred story. You know what the reality is? They weren't good enough. That's the cold, hard truth. You weren't good enough.
I would say it wasn't. I would say
they weren't good enough.
I would just say they didn't make the proper choices.
Yeah, there might be some guys that did that.
Some weren't good enough. Some didn't make the proper choices.
I could have been a contender.
Could have been, you know. But
so basically, Sheck Wes. So Sheck Wes is Mo Bamba. They're not two different people. Like
Mo Bamba's the name of the song.
Okay, all right.
Mo Bamba's just the name of the song.
Listen, I'm going to read this the way that Kennedy wrote it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Sheck Wes signs with a pro team in France. It's time for Joique to teach Sean some things. End of sentence. Then a new sentence. Then a new sentence starts. Mo Bamba star randomly entered the NBA draft. Please tell me you can understand why I thought Wes Sheck and Mo Bamba were two different people.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
He was just saying the star of that song, Mo Bamba, is Sheck Wes. But you don't know who Sheck Wes is, so it doesn't apply to you.
That's not the diamond guy.
All right. No. That's a little.
Can you
Uzi
put
Vert.
up a picture of Sheck Wes just so I can see what Sheck Wes looks like?
Another handsome guy.
All right.
As you would put it.
My brother played against Prince
The president
Fielder
of Paris
as kids.
basketball is David Kahn, the same guy that drafted a bunch of PGs that weren't Steph Curry. Same guy that sucked with the Timberwolves.
He's not.
Looks normal.
Yeah, he looks all right.
Yeah, normal guy.
He can ball. So look, you can't even play in France unless you can ball, right? I mean, those French leagues are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a friend that played in the south of France. He did.
What part?
I can't remember. He was in south of France, and I think he ended up going to Italy.
It's beautiful down there.
It is.
Like that whole Mediterranean region.
I sort of went out there to go visit him and his fiance.
That's right. Yeah, you told me. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But the whole COVID thing hit, and we got locked down.
Jenna said, my brother played against Prince Fielder as kids. They whooped them every time. Clearly, Prince went pro. You see it early on. You know, you do. I mean, it's occasionally there have been guys like the term, like I'll use the hockey term. I don't know if there's an equivalent term in football. You tell me. Do you know what the term is in hockey? Late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
I gave you the story of the rumors of how Derek Jeter was discovered. Did I give you that?
Yeah. Share it with them. Yeah.
I said it on the show.
You have to say it again just in case somebody news watching.
All right, so the rumor is this. We had a guy who went to Ben Harbor High School. He played all four sports. I think our boys' basketball team had 5 D1 players. Yeah, Corey Childs. You had Marcus Singer, who went to DePaul. You had...
Where did he go to school?
DePaul. Went to DePaul.
Blue Demons in the house, Bizatch.
And actually had the 3-point record there until it got broken. When I was in college, it got broken.
Did I say that right, Art?
You did.
Okay. Bizatch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this kid, Daylion Isom, he played outfield, and nothing hit the ground out there, right? And so he actually got drafted out of high school, but what happened was they were playing Kalamazoo Central, and scouts were coming to see him. And in the process of seeing him, they ran into and saw this young talent and a Derek Jeter, future Hall of Famer, all those things, and that's how he got discovered. And then that's when they started looking at Derek Jeter, and that's a rumor. I don't know how true it is.
That's the big story. Remember former Red Wing Pavel Datsyuk? Teams were going to scout somebody else in Russia. And he was from a very, Russia's a pretty big country. Mm-hmm. He was from kind of the outpost. And it just so happened that they were at a game, and there was, the story that I was told was there was a St. Louis Blues scout, and there was a Detroit Red Wing scout. And so the Red Wing scout lied to the Blue scout and said, well, I think this guy's better. I really like this guy. But the whole time he was looking at Pavel Datsyuk going, oh, like that. And, obviously the guy turned into a tremendous hockey player.
Right.
But you know what? My old boss with the Whalers, who now coaches with the Penguins, had a quote, and I use it all the time. If you can play, scouts will find you. That's your job. If you can play, scouts will find you.
Is that what I told you?
No.
What a scout told me at Wayne State.
No. That's
true.
Absolutely. If you can play, scouts will find you.
So I hadn't played a game yet, though. Mm-hmm. It was my redshirt freshman year. going into training camp, and I was working for the Lions at the practice facility. My last day on the job was the first time they put me at the facility. And so I had a chair set up outside of the front door, and so I can see everybody coming in and out. And so this guy was walking up, and I can tell he was a scout. I mean, had on the khaki shorts, the high white socks.
They stick out like a sore thumb. They really do.
The bag that, you wrap around your shoulder, come down. Had on the goofy hat, the polo button-up T-shirt. I knew he was a scout. He just had scout written all over him. I said, "Excuse me, are you a scout?" He said, "Yeah, I'm a scout." Go figures. I said, "Listen, you think a guy from a D2 Wayne State can make it to the NFL?" And what you said is the exact words he told me. He said, "Listen, if you have talent, they'll find you."
They'll find you.
That's
why I don't believe in falling between the cracks. I just don't. Now there are exceptions.
No,
there are exceptions.
It do happen.
There are, but more often than not, Joique, let's keep it what they're exceptions. They're not the rule. There might be a few guys that fall between the crack, but when I hear guys say that, I could. People saw you. They know. They know. Especially if you played with somebody else that made it. They know. How are they going to miss you? Like you said, talent knows talent, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm watching Joique Bell's high school football team at Benny-Ha-Ha, if I'm watching Joique's football team, well, not only am I watching Joique, but I'm watching the rest of the football team, okay? So if one of your teammates said, Joique was good, I was better, what, the scout's going to miss that? Talent knows talent. You know what I mean? And that's why there are exceptions. There are guys that have fallen between the cracks and everything, but more often than that, you know what I always tell people? Like, it's funny you talk about how to spot a scout. If you're going to a hockey game where there's a special talent playing, a junior game, whether it be OHL, USHL, even some of the high school games out here, you know what I always tell people? You want to know how you see a scout? This is what a scout looks like. He's got his coffee in one hand, he's got the rosters in the other hand, and he's going to go sit in the corner of the rink. He's not going to sit close to the glass. He's not going to sit at the middle of the rink. He's going to go sit in the upper corner, either the left corner or the right corner of the rink. And I guarantee you, he's got a coffee in one hand and he's got his sheet in the other hand. I guarantee you. That's how you spot a scout.
Is he not taking notes?
Yeah. Once he sits down, the coffee goes down, and he usually has the glasses to the bridge of his nose, and he'll go like this. And then you'll see him write some things down, and you'll see him do this, and you see him do that. Plain as day. Stick out like a sore thumb.
Like a sore thumb.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's like, now that I've been doing, hockey broadcasts for 20 years. Now you know the guys when you see them, and you know them by name. But honestly, an art-looking dude with his glasses on, coffee in one hand, he's got the roster in the other hand, scout.
So we'll have
set your word to it.
I tell you this. We'll have and this is a story of college. And so when we used to have like NFL teams come to our practice and kind of watch us practice, we're D2 school, so we see that, we're like, wow, who they here for? They knew I had an opportunity, but we had some other guys on the team who were really good too, like a Dante Dunn, a Jeremy Jones, who had an opportunity. He had Troy Burrell on the team at the time, so we had some Joe Long, so we had some NFL caliber players on the team. And so it's just funny to see that when you see a guy come to the practice and he has on a Raiders logo on his jacket, or he has on the Titans or Lions or Chiefs or Ravens, you're like, oh, he's a scout. He's a scout. Like, that means something. And so now you see in practice guys stepping it up a notch in practice, because like, okay, hopefully he sees me, So it's just funny to hear you say that, right? And then as players, like while we're practicing, we see that as well. And it's just it's funny how we just turn it up a notch. All right.
I've watched it at Wayne State. I've seen, and then word comes around, the Ravens are here today. Yeah. I especially during your era.
Yeah.
But there have been some other guys that got some serious look under Coach Winters that, and it's funny, like it's almost like this hush, like the Ravens are here today. I heard the Raiders are here too. Oh, dude, Indy sent somebody. It's kind of funny, and it's like, And
it's how it works, though. It's how it works. And then you see these guys who might have been going at, 75. Now all of a sudden they're going 90, 95%. Some guys are going 100. And it's like, wow, what was this before? I'll give you a perfect example. I had a guy, we had the, I think we call it Oklahoma drill, but it's basically It's a linebacker. It's a running back. They got two of the tire things, but it's the long one. It's not the flip. It's the long ones. And I got to get 5 yards. I got to get past him. And so we see a scout on the side. I said, "Listen, man, I'm gonna spin off of you. Let me spin off of you." He said, "No." He said, "No." He like, "You got to run through me." He like, "Yeah, you got to run me over." I said, "Run you over?" He said, "Yeah, run me over." And so I'm like, "All right." And so they threw me the ball. They hit the whistle. I came. We met. It was our team best linebacker. It was me, and we hit each other. And he flew back about 3 yards, and I ended up scoring. And then we went. I mean, the team went crazy. And then when that happened, the scout left. I'm like, wow, what does that mean? He just left. What does that mean?
And then you start overthinking everything. Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
That's great.
You know, so it's funny because, you know, when you're young, your whole dream has always been to go to the NFL or go to wherever, whether it's the NBA or whatever you're trying to get to. When you see scouts around, you like, wow, okay, this means like I'm on their radar, so I have an opportunity. So let me make sure I bring my A game. So it's a cool feeling, Sean.
I got a chance to see how you pros live. While you're telling that story, it reminded me, and you guys are going to get a laugh out of this. Art, I think you're going to appreciate this. So I was with Carolina. This is when we went to Tampa. And more often than not, the hotel that you're staying at in the visitor's city, everybody jumps on a bus and drives to the rink, right? Well, the hotel right across from Amalie Arena is literally, I mean, it's a 2-minute walk. So what sense does it make for everybody to jump in the bus and take the bus over to the rink? So, you know, the coach said the morning of the game, we're walking over to the rink, right? So everybody's getting ready to walk over, and a couple of the guys that played for the Hurricanes, I didn't really know them, but a couple guys were like, hey, you walking over? I was like, yeah, walk with us. Beautiful day in Tampa, Florida. Absolutely beautiful day. You know, I mean, it's Tampa, Florida. It's like 81 degrees. And I'm not going to lie to you, Joique. I'm sitting there going, this is the coolest. I had to hide the little kid in me. I'm going, this is the coolest thing on earth. This is what I dreamed of as a kid.
Right.
I'm walking to the rink with a bunch of professional athletes. I'm for this one moment, I'm them. For just this one moment. That's it. That's all I have in my life. For this one moment, I'm them. So you get about 50 feet away from the rink, and there are just hundreds of fans waiting. Like, just hundreds of fans. And they're literally blocking the area where you have to walk in the back of the rink and everything. So all of a sudden, this horde, I would say legitimately 70 people, this horde of people besiege on us. Can I get an autograph? Can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? I had probably 30 people say they thought I was a player. Can I get an autograph? Do you know who I am? No, but you're with the Hurricanes. Well, I am, but I'm not really. I'm just a broadcaster. And the funniest thing, you want to talk about sobering up? Oh. So then it was funny, and I won't say the player's name. He was a goalie on the team. Was dying laughing. He goes, will you please do that again? He's like, boys, look at this. Boys, look at this. So the next group comes up like, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? Well, sure, but do you know who I am? No. Are you with the Hurricanes? Well, yeah, I guess you can say I am. I'm just the broadcaster. Oh. And then they just move on to the next player and everything. So all the guys were crying. But for 1 minute, for 60 seconds, I got a chance to see how you people live.
That sucks.
It was a wonderful 60 seconds, though, and I'll never forget it.
So when they have Super Bowl, that we were so we missed this year because we couldn't go to Media Row, which, you know, I was devastated about. When the players get there, like the week of the Super Bowl, that's not in the Super Bowl, and they get off that plane, you'll have about 100 guys down in the baggage claim area just trying to get autographs or pictures. And so they'll run up to anybody who looks like a player, and they'll say, can we get your autograph? Can we get your autograph, sir? And it's like grown men. It's just, I said, what? And I'll say, what's my name? I said, what's my name? I said, what's my name?
He's Ali.
Yeah.
He's Muhammad Ali.
What's my name?
Say my name.
And they'll call me somebody else's name, right? And then one guy, and there's always one guy out the bunch that know that's not him. That's Joique Bell. They called me a player from the Falcons. I said, what? So all black people with locks look alike. That's a D lineman.
Now, am I allowed to say all mumble rappers sound alike? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, all mumble rappers.
I don't like that crap. Sorry.
That was
right.
You were spitting fire right there, bro.
Right?
Fire.
Put a beat behind it.
Steve said, still waiting to see if Sean and Art can tackle Joique inside the 5. Now, wait a second. Now, hold on. Can I bring that up? Art and Sean, if we joined forces, it's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, and Joique has no blockers in front of him. Do you think we could tackle Joique?
Definitely.
I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell.
I think
because I would leap for him and break my femur, and then you'd be by yourself. I'd be laying on the ground holding my leg in agony.
With that attitude, you got to go into it. I grab the legs, you jump on the back, and we just we all fall over together.
He'd give us a piggyback ride. Like Joique would give us a piggyback back. Joique, can you give me another piggyback ride into the end zone? No, seriously. Do you think if you had 2 guys, no blockers in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Me and Art.
2 big guys, though. Big guys. Boost.
You're the best. No, do you think you could do that? Like 5-yard line, you're at the 5. Art and Sean are at the 3-yard line. We're all in uniform.
He would flick us, man. He goes to the gym
every
day.
Would you purposely run right through us just to disrespect us and take our souls?
No, just whatever it takes to get to the end zone. I wouldn't hurt you guys. You guys would be.
I'm gonna
let you guys.
I wouldn't be out on the field, so you don't have to worry about it.
He says it so passive aggressively, like I'll get there.
Joique, I like my life. I wouldn't be out on the field. I'm a big fan of my life. I hope I have 40 more years on this planet. I really do.
But see, that's the thing. When Stick talks about being able to take a,
why are you doing your hand like that towards your face? Okay.
Kevin said Sean's lived every sports fan dream.
Put that in slow motion right now. Hey, mark that for me because we're gonna put that on my IG.
No, that's not a good idea.
Mark that.
No,
mark that.
There is no way in Hades. I'm not being funny. At 50 years old now.
You're good. You got 40.
There's no way in Hades I'm going out there to do that. No
side
way.
Point.
No
side,
way.
Side point.
Would you ever have at 50 years old for $1 million? Would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for like 3 rounds?
$1 million? Yeah, I'll do anything for $1 million.
But you can't get knocked out. You got to stay up the whole 3 rounds.
Well, I'm not getting $1 million, so I'm not getting in the ring. I'd take a beating from him. Hell yeah. For $1 million? Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Do I get headgear?
No.
No. Screw that.
Huh?
No way.
You better just run around the ring for 3 rounds.
Yeah, my hamstring?
Yep.
Oh my God, no way.
You want to give up your hamstring for $3 million?
I'd wrap it up and I'd just say, knock me out. I'd be like Rocky. Hit me harder with Mr. T. Ain't so bad. I'd piss him off. He'd knock me out. I'd take my $1 million. You kidding me? Later. And then I'd call you all dumb. Boy, you're all dumb. You just gave me $1 million. It might cost $300,000 to fix me, but I'd net $700,000.
What's the point? What's the point of having all that money if you don't have your wealth? I mean, if you don't have your health, you're not healthy enough to spend it.
Can I ask what's the point?
Hold on. You just raise your hand, they will call on you. What's the point of having that wealth if you don't have the health to spend it?
If he just knocked me out, I might be down for a few weeks, right?
Right.
But would I take? Hell yeah.
Okay, that's true. Hey, Art, you have something to say?
Yeah, I said, what's the point of doing this great show if I'm not allowed to laugh? I don't know if you saw Joique's Instagram story the other day, but he posted something from the show, and he put, and I quote, Art's laugh is as annoying as hell. And now I feel like I can't even laugh on this show. I am battered, beaten, and torn. PTSD.
Art, hey, Fish, mute this mic.
I can hear you. I literally have headphones on.
Love that.
I can't move my hands. I can't laugh. I can't invite myself to a fight like a dream.
I can't grow facial hair. I just can't. Get out of here.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not going on the field with you in full uniform. Okay, mm-hmm. I'm not just. Joique's kind of a big guy. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm losing weight.
No, you know what I mean by big. Now he's gonna get mad at me and beat me up for that.
I'm not gonna beat you up, Sean.
But you know what the biggest thing
Sean,
is?
I'll never beat you up.
Like Joique, like seriously?
Yeah.
Your quadriceps are They're monstrous.
Your
okay?
quadriceps.
I've wondered.
Sean, never talk about my quads.
Okay, I've wondered at your quadriceps many times. I have. I'm sorry. You do your quad work, and it's just like
Your wife know about this?
I think to myself, that's like 2 missiles firing at me. You're running at me on the football field. There's 2 quadricep missiles firing at me. I don't need
All right,
that.
so we got the NFC West coming up next. Got the I'm about to take a short break real quick after he does his read. Come back and talk about the NFC West, talk about J.J. Watt and him going to the West and how competitive that division is now.
Hey, if you feel good about your interest rate because it's in the 3s, get over it and call Hall Financial because rates are now in the 2s. Be smart and make the call because you could be saving money. Hall Financial is fast and they do all the heavy lifting for you. So go to davidhallmortgage.com now to get started. D Hall will take care of you like he's taking care of thousands, millions of people over the past 20-plus years. Hall Financial, lower payments, better options, more personal attention. We'll talk triceps, biceps, and quadriceps when we come back. He's Joique Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. This is Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Did you see what Jenna said? Jenna's got the big spoon out and she's stirring right now. Are you ready?
Sign it up.
She said, Sean gets hurt, Joique has to get here early to do the show. That ain't happening.
Exactly. That's not happening.
Just keep stirring.
Listen, I will say he did show up. He was in the studio today at 10:38. I commend you for that, my friend.
At what?
You were in this studio at 10:38. I commend you for that.
Like in here or like in the building?
In here at 10:38. I commend you for that.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
No. I was here at 10:30.
You were in the studio.
No, and I would have been here before. I would have been in here before that if people were back there so I can do my read on time. I can't control other people. I would have been here before that. So.
Even when I compliment him, like I tell him, "Hey, good job." No.
It was a better job than that. No.
No, listen, here's the thing. You know what people don't understand about this place? I almost wish we could turn on a cam a half hour in advance. This studio was chaos 5 minutes before the show started. There were some behind-the-scene things that started that we thought were fixed, that anybody that was with us at the beginning of the show saw we had a little issue. But, like, it is, if you have to do something around here before the show, forget it. Like, you just don't, there's just usually, there's a lot of chaos around here. There is.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, you know all this hair that I'm growing? It's disappearing by the second every day I gotta work here.
Continue to talk on this show without raising his hands. How many times we have to talk about this, Sean? It's disrespectful.
He made eye contact.
It's disrespectful. You raise your hand, we call on you, you wait your turn, you wait for your time. Stop speaking over Joique, stop speaking over Sean. Hey, Fish, you don't have to raise your hand. You just come on, you talk. You just come on, you talk, Fish. Because Fish doesn't talk. Fish stays in his lane.
Fish, Fish. You can come
All right,
in
you get
anytime.
back in here, you sit down, you do your job.
You can chime in anytime you want, Fish. You got something to add to this, Fish?
Not really.
Exactly. He plays his role well. It's like one of our side chicks. They play their part. They know they can't call the house after 8. They can't call his phone after 8. They know he's back home.
This is great content.
NFC West looks sick, by the way. To get back, the NFC West looks sick.
Yeah. Do you have that clip of what J.J. Watt said when he teamed back? Listen. So the thing was, he came back and said, "Let's finish what we started." Two of probably the greatest players at their position are teaming back up at another team. Do you think they're going to have success there, Art? All right, appreciate it. How do you feel, Sean?
Cool.
Yes, I like that team already. You saw Joique, I keep saying this. In my perfect world scenario with the Lions, they have the turnaround like the Cardinals did, where the Cardinals got extra picks. I mean, they absolutely fleeced the Texans to get DeAndre, okay? They got extra picks. They made the picks count. A team that just a couple of years ago people thought was going to be a disaster for years to come, flipped the script like that with good management. And part of that management was taking a chance on a quarterback that not a lot of people thought that highly of. I loved Kyler. I told you that. They're the two guys to me, and well, there were really three. Jalen Hurts is another one. I couldn't understand, and when Scott comes in, he can talk about this. I said, what am I missing with Lamar? What am I missing with Kyler Murray? And what am I missing with Jalen Hurts? Why are people so down on them? And now there's still some people. Somebody said it yesterday. This remains to be seen. I can't claim victory yet, but somebody said Kyler Murray's physique doesn't lend itself to a long shelf life in the NFL, and I think there's some validity there. He's a small dude. He's a small dude. So how big of a factor is that going to be? I don't know. It could be, or you know what? A lot of people said that about a guy by the name of Drew Brees coming out of Purdue, if you remember.
Yeah.
How'd that turn out? How
many years did Drew get in? Was it about 17, 18?
Yeah, he was what? Was he the 2000 draft? I think he was the 2000 draft. So
20?
Yeah, think about that. That's crazy. So fact check me there. I think he was the 2000 draft, wasn't he? Art?
May I? Am I allowed?
Yes, please.
Okay. 2001.
Okay, 2001.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He was first pick of the second round.
That 19, 20 years, man. And what did people say? Like, I remember playing his day. He's a great story at Purdue. He's too small to play in the NFL.
Yeah, because
that was real.
Because they're afraid of change.
That's exactly it.
They want to, they have that prototype quarterback, 6'5", 6'6".
That's exactly.
Could see downfield.
Do you know how short-sighted it is? Like
you can't be great if you're not this tall. Like what?
Really, it's so short-sighted to me. And the talk of moving guys. Well, he's an incredible athlete. Let's move him to wide receiver. Why on earth would I do that? But the guy was the best player in college football last year. Why would I move him to wide receiver? Well, a guy like that can't pass in the NFL. Why not?
Says who?
Yeah, why not?
Says who?
Says who's even better.
Says who?
I think it's so short-sighted. Now here, just a word of caution, okay? If you guys remember, a few years ago, a lot of people were talking this up during Joique's career about how the NFC North might be the best division in football, okay?
It was.
And it didn't come to fruition in the regard that maybe the Bears weren't as good as people they thought they were going to be, and then the Vikings kind of slipped a little bit because they've been on that elevator for so long. But right now, anybody want to count out the Seahawks? The only reason I count out the Seahawks is if Russell Wilson leaves. If Russell Wilson leaves, then I'll count out the Seahawks, okay? Anybody want to count out the Rams? I think the Rams got better. I think a playoff team got better because they upgraded their quarterback. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford's better than Jared Goff. Sorry. The Cardinals were a team that just missed last year. You can't tell me they didn't get better. Oh, by the way, that young nucleus now has another year. So they're going to get better, which kind of leaves the Niners. The Niners could be the whooping boy in that division, and yet they weren't downright awful. And a lot of their issues has been Jimmy Garoppolo's inability to stay healthy. That's a of a division, man. It is. That's a bear. Think about having to play those teams twice, okay? Like, you could be a team like Joique. Seriously, you could be like Seattle. Darn good team. If they played in the NFC North, they'd probably go 2-0 against the Lions, 2-0 against the Vikings, and 2-0 against the Bears, okay? You could easily, in this division, drop 5 games in your own division. Easily. That's how crazy
it is.
5 might be a little too much. But 4-4, damn good team. And this goes back to your point, Joique, about, to me, I've always been a take care of business at home guy. Find a way to go 6-2. You always say you at the very least have to
Win
beat
your home
the
games.
bad teams in your division and split with the good teams in your division, right?
Yeah, but when I played, we didn't want to lose games at home, right?
You have to take care of business at home.
Yeah, you have to, because it's already hard to win NFL games. It's already hard, right? It's even harder to win those games on the road, and it's even harder to beat teams on the road, right? And so, for us, when we came into the season, we had a team meeting. This is 2014. We said we want to win all of our home games, and I can't remember. We might have won 7-1 or something like that at home, but we made that goal at the beginning of the season, all right? We didn't do that every season. But this one season, we knew we had to win this year. We knew it. That window was closing. We had to win now. Now, what happens if we have that same team the following year with some added pieces? What do you think we do? Could be a different story. And at that time, right now, we're looking,
No, I get
we're
it.
looking at the crystal ball.
I get it. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm. You know what? I thought you were a team that was here, as I've said 100 times, not good enough.
No. Raise it up a little bit higher than that. That was 2013. We was right there.
Okay, all right. You were here,
2014.
which wasn't good enough, and I thought I really truly thought Bob Quinn could spin things around, and by the time 2016 started.
But that doesn't matter because we didn't have that killer defense.
You're right.
We didn't have it. So
You're right.
I'm not going to compare
You're
that
100% right.
That defense we had. What was
you had an offense that made
Run
plays
game.
when you had to, and your defense was less than. But I honestly, my opinion at the time was, you have a guy that's saying all the right things, and Bob did say the right things. And talk is cheap in this town. That's why I get a lot of people aren't just going to throw their faith and trust to Brad Holmes or quite frankly to Dan Campbell. I get it. You're preaching to the choir. Talk is cheap. Bob Quinn said all the right things. I mean, I talked to Bob Quinn. I still say he's a very intelligent man. I like Bob Quinn. I liked his idea for the team. His follow-through was awful. His execution was executed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that doesn't take away from the message. It's almost like, Joique, what you're talking about, and I agree with you. The Lions need a stud wide receiver. You guys get ready to make your jokes. They need wide receivers, not singular, plural. They could use multiple picks on wide receiver in this draft. It could be, as Joique suggested, at 7. It could be in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. They need wide receivers.
Now,
plural.
We also talked about this. We also talked about how when we look at the mock drafts from January and February, how different they'll be from April and how they'll be different from April, right? So
I saved one. I'll prove it to you around draft time. I did. I saved one from January 1st.
All right, so this is my question for you. Why do they change towards the end?
This is what was explained to me. I was
going to
go ahead.
Lay it out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, you have the Senior Bowl. You have the East versus West Shrine game. I think they canceled. Did they cancel the third one? I think. You have the combine. You have team workouts where they can come. They can work you out. You have pro days. You have. They don't have. I think they have the Senior Bowl, but I think they had a limited of scouts that could go. I think the East versus West was similar. I don't think are they doing pro days? I don't think they're doing pro days.
I'm not 100% sure.
Right,
yeah.
They're not doing the combine. They're not. It's a lot of things that helps to change that mock draft that you can't do now. So will it be that big of a difference when it comes draft time, or will it be something similar?
He's 100% right, and you know what? I think a lot of times the drafts also change because you are actually finding out what the general manager of the Detroit Lions thinks, or the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys thinks. Do you know what one of the funniest things to me is? I've made fun of this for years, and I'm going to make it again. So you brought up all that stuff, okay? So that'll take you to the first week of April, right? All that stuff. Then there's the first week of April, and then it's like the calm before the storm. First, everybody awaits, and I'm still like a little kid. You wait. I'm still like a little kid when the NFL schedule comes out. I am. Like to this day, that joy is never going to come away from me. What I do is, all right, who are the Lions opening with? What is the first home game? How many primetime games do they have? who are they playing on Thanksgiving? Those are things that I have to look at. And I get excited and everything. And then, usually the week after that, you have the draft. The biggest bunch of bullshit in the NFL media today.
Language.
Darn
Put
it.
a dollar in the jar. Put the dollar in the jar.
The biggest bunch of bullcrap in the media today is that guy that stands on ESPN or wherever with the mic in his hand and says to me, well, my sources are telling me that stock is rising for Joique Bell. Based on what? There have been no pro days. There's been no combines. All that stuff has been over for 2 weeks now. Stop bullshitting. That's what you're standing in front of the audience. You're bullshitting people. No, stock isn't rising. You're finding out what Joique Bell, the general manager, thinks of Art Smith, the player, or whatever the case may be. So when I go, I'm hearing that Joique Bell's stock is rising. No, you're not hearing that. Why would his stock rise? There wasn't a double secret pro day. There was no combine. Yeah. There were no, his stock's not rising. You're finding out what Packers really think of Joique Bell.
And what you're doing now, all right? And what you're doing now is you're getting the Cougars out there trying to follow these players who draft stock is going up.
Bam.
That's what you're doing.
Bam.
And then you have
nobody's stock is rising because there's nothing that would make their stock rise. Everything's over.
It's funny, and we're looking at that though. We're going on the NFL scouting.
Sure.
And we're looking at you have a read to do, right?
You can keep going. No, this is good. Roll with it, baby.
And so
Stevie Winwood.
All right, so they have this site. I forgot the name of the site. You can go on there. You can see your draft stock or whatever. And I will go on there. I will look at my stock and I'll say, wow, why am I this low? Like, are they not looking at my body of work? Have they not seen what I've done? Like, what are they looking at? What goes into this? And it goes into, you played it against inferior competition. I'm like, okay, I can't help where I played. I can only help what I did on the field. And they use that against you, right? Anything they can use against you to get you for the cheapest dollar, they're going to do it. But as we got closer to the draft, so my stock going up higher and higher. I'll do a workout for a team, then my stock will go higher. And I did my 40, and it dropped down. It dropped down. But even when I talked with the Ravens, like through a third party, through my agent, they still had me on that board going low third, high fourth. And I'm like, wow, okay.
I told you that's what Killer told me. Killer thought for sure. He said, how's he going to do in the 40? I said, he'll psych himself out. Because I remember talking to you at the facility. Yeah. You were like, you know how fast I am. I think about it too much. And I get it.
And so they called me day before the second day when they were doing the second and third round. Where are you going to be tomorrow? And I said, I'll be with the family. I was so hyped. I was with my family that whole day. I didn't move. I said, okay, probably tomorrow. No call that day. And this sucks, man. That's the most stressful day for a guy coming out. It's draft day. The most stressful day.
I can't imagine.
All right. What you got there?
No, dude, hey, listen, have we talked about my bookie? Have you heard me talk about my bookie? Well, I hope by now you've taken advantage of it. If you haven't, let me entice you. No matter the sport or season, you can always win big now. Non-stop action, 365 days a year, hundreds of thousands of lines, NBA, NHL, UFC, they got it all. They've got something for everybody. Check out their prop bets. Unbelievable prop bets. Celebrity divorce to the All Valley Karate Tournament. Yes, you can really bet on that. And I'm so glad I talked my family into watching Cobra Kai as well. All right, I can give you some inside info. March Madness is right around the corner, so start building your bankroll right now. But it's got to start with you. Get the head start. Sign up today with promo code Woodward. Get your first deposit match halfway up to $1,000. That's free cash into your account on top of your deposit. How do you deny that? The best part is you always have access to the action, whether you're at home or on the go. Visit mybookie.ag today and use promo code Woodward to grab yourself a deposit bonus. Bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie. We've got some NFC West chatter, and We had a Twitter debate yesterday where, to be honest with you, in our text messaging, I kind of thought I was coming across as the old man again, cue your old man joke, but everybody seemed to agree with me, and that made me happy, Art. And I even apologized. I prefaced I know I'm going to come across as the boomer, but ... And everybody kind of agreed with me. Maybe if we have some time, we'll get into that. Glad you can join us. Joique Bell, Sean Baligian, Art Bell, The Fish. This is Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Hey, what's up? Did I really say Art Bell?
Yeah, truth be told, that's the biggest compliment you could ever get.
Listen, Art Smith, Art Bell is, okay, what we were just talking about before we went to the break. So we had this, somebody was crying about how this business is so unfair and they make me work ungodly hours for no money. Wah. This is the business. This is what every one of us had to endure. Trust me when I say this, okay? And so it was funny, it turned into this, and I wouldn't say heated because we were all on the same page because, you've been in the business for a few years, and I said, I'm sorry, I know I'm going to sound like the old guy here, but true story, Art, like what I wrote. I'm not joking. I did my radio shift. I still was a bouncer at the bar that I worked at college age. Then I went and delivered papers in the morning. And then I slept for maybe 3 or 4 hours and did the whole process again. And it's amazing what the human body can endure when you're forced to work a schedule like that. Like, you get loopy. Like, you get so tired you get loopy. That's real. That's absolutely real. And I yearn for, my 1 day off a month or something like that. But I used to listen to Art Bell driving home late at night. It kept me awake. He unbelievable.
He literally is an icon, and rest in peace to the great Art Bell. If you don't know about Art Bell, listen to Coast AM and just listen to his conspiracy theories. He was the most entertaining AM radio personality of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, unbelievable. But, Joique, I don't know how much you saw of that conversation, and D-Mac got in. It was your day off. D-Mac even got in. What I would say, it's pay your dues. Everybody's got to pay their dues. You don't think that happens in the NFL?
I'm doing it right now, working with Joique every day. It's tough.
It is tough because I demand. You know what? People they usually don't like the people that's hard on them, but they don't know what they have. It's like when I'm not on the show anymore and I'm gone, Art's going to say, you know what? Joique made me better.
I will say that now. Sorry.
I'm still talking. Sorry. And one thing he's going to learn before I leave the show is respect. That's one thing he's going to learn before I leave the show is respect. And so we're at that point now to where when I leave the show, Art is going to be so well groomed that he can go work at any level and stand out. That's my goal here with Art. To mow him, take him under my wing and mold him, because right now he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. You
see the potential, right?
I see the potential.
You can see the potential in young Art.
Hold on, let me see.
Oh boy, here we go.
Is that a lint in my water?
No, and you know what? You guys can all say, all jokes aside, you can all say, get off my lawn, and I'll own it. I'll be Walt Kowalczyk. No problem. That's me. Seriously, I'm Gran Torino. I take care of my lawn. Get off my damn lawn.
Yeah.
But it drives me crazy today. Young people, and I tell my son this all the time. Don't expect anything. Don't expect anything. You can't. There's a reason why this person was crying about the crap wages, and the wages are crap when kids come in. I feel sorry for them, okay? But do you know why the wages are crap? Because if you're one of those people that say, I'm not going to work for this, okay, step out of line. There are 150,000 idiots that are going to walk into your spot in line.
Why are they idiots?
Because you're an idiot if you get into this business. I mean, I thought you knew that already. No, but you know what I mean? And I hear these people cry, it's unfair wages and everything. Wah! Work. Grind it out. We all did it. I did it.
We all did it somewhat. We all grinded it out. We did. Art's still grinding it out right now. But, he comes in every day with a smile on his face, and he's ready to work. I get that to Art. Art is always on time. He doesn't complain. He comes in. He only complains when there's 5 minutes before the show.
And you know what people realize? And I'm going to tell you what. You know what? You know what happens with a guy like Art? Yeah. All jokes aside, we're going to be serious.
Yeah.
The big boss is in, and the big boss watches. Chad may be quiet when he's here. He's not quiet in the group text. But Chad watches, and you know what Chad does? I'm watching you, Art. I want you to know I'm seeing what you're doing. I want you to know you're appreciated.
Yeah.
Now you, as this thing continues to grow, how do you think that's going to bode for Art?
Not good at all, because Joique's snitching on me every day on damn Instagram. His laugh is annoying as hell. He didn't raise his hands. He uses his hands too much. He laughs too much.
He talks too much.
No, but you know what I remember when Chad did that, when Chad said that in the text message, Art, seriously, I did a fist pump for you. That I love to see that. And you know what? Chad's a good boss in the regard that he's like, this guy comes in, he busts his ass off, does what's asked of him. Hey, do you want me to stay for this show? Hey, do you want me to do this and everything?
Yeah.
That's how you get ahead.
This
you
is a
can go walk
conversation.
into Chad's office and go.
This is a conversation we have about Art. When it's me, it's me and Chad. And we have a conversation. We're talking, and it might be Jesse, might be in the room too. And he'll sit back in this chair in there and put his feet on the table, and we're just having a conversation. And it goes like this. I gotta get in character.
That's real, by the way.
I don't know.
Now, Art, how many times have we done the smoke show where, that's real? What Joique's doing right now is real.
Now. All right. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this kid. I like him. He's a loser. He comes in every day. He's on time. Doesn't have anything to live for. He comes here with a smile on his face. He comes in here with a smile on his face every day, ready to work, grinding it out. And he's not a loser. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. He's horrible, but it's just something.
That makes it so much better when somebody moves away from loser to you're horrible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him under my wing. We're gonna get him together. I want him to be a part of this brand. Something about him, man.
But honestly, this is what I tell the young people all the time. Who do you think is going to make the bigger impact? The guy like Art who does his gosh damn job, and works
you still cuss us down.
Works his tail off, right?
Yeah, he does.
He does. Works his tail off. What do you need me to do? Or the person who just I'm going to do the minimum and then I'm going to leave. Well, what do you think's going to? Two people are going to walk in the room and go, hey, Chad, I've been here for a year. What are the chances of me having a raise?
I have a question. Can I talk, Art?
Hang on. Joique's got a question.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Joique.
All right. So, real quick. Art is a guy who, we had a debate on Twitter, sports internships. How you got there, how you got to where you are, paid versus unpaid. Now, this was a big debate on Twitter. Am I wrong? I know this is what we were talking about.
This is the debate that we had in our group text.
So,
but it wasn't a debate. We all agreed.
So, Art, when you started working here, did you get the job off of who you knew, or did you have to grind to get it?
No, I had been in radio for 10 years before this, and programming radio station by myself to loading up remote live broadcast bags for morning show people. I went through the ringer, and then I got let go due to COVID cuts, and Stick hit me up and said, hey, I know you're an MMA guy, esports guy, but now look at what I'm doing. I'm producing the world's greatest show. So,
for sure.
Well, second greatest show next to The Hook.
No. Did you hear that?
No. Don't retract your statement. You already said it. Don't retract it.
No, but I mean, like, Joique, do you get what I'm saying? Like when it comes time a year from now, and we're sailing the way that I know we're going to be sailing, and I mean that. I know we're going to be sailing. Well, what happens? Like, Chad's going to look at a guy like Art and go, dude, you never complain. You did your job. I got to take care of you. What's he going to do to the other person? It's unfair. Do you know how tired I am? Guess what? Get in line. We all are, kid. That's life. It sucks. Seriously. I wish it could be different, but it isn't. I don't know what to tell. We all have to grind. Like, I'm not joking. It was like somebody used the term drunk tired. I was drunk tired my first 2 years of the business. My boss down in Toledo, true story. You've met him. He's now the boss at WJR. My boss walked up to me after I was there for a year and a half, and he said, you have to take the next 2 days off. And I go, Mike, I'm cool. And he goes, no, I'm telling you, take the next 2 days off. And I go, Mike, I can't afford it. Like, I have bills. And he goes, take the days off. We'll work it out. Like, literally, I was a zombie. But you know what? I wanted this job so badly. I wanted to do what I've been really blessed to do for 26 years. As much as I rip on this business, I wanted it so badly. It was like, yes, I'll walk around with my eyes looking bloodshot like I've been drinking all day, and I'll have to, like, there used to be these little drinks that you could pick up at the gas station, like these little, what was it called, No-Dos or
the
whatever the hell it
5-hour
was.
energies.
And
yeah.
I would have to slam these drinks because I was like, I'm going to fall asleep driving home. I was exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do it.
That's why you got to get a Tesla so it can drive you home.
Oh, that'd be even better. I'd be out like a light. Oh, my gosh.
Did you see that video of that couple? They were in the car and knocked out, sleep on the highway. I mean, bent over while the car was driving.
For real?
Bent over, sleep. Like sleeping. Hey. It's getting close to the end.
Yeah, you know, I mean, to me, it's like, listen, I get it. We all wish things could be better, and I wish things could be better for my kids and all that stuff. Sometimes life is going to happen. When there are, I mean, Joique, it's supply and demand. You know why NFL players are paid so well? Because they're doing something that 99.9% of the population cannot do.
Or do it to that level of what they're doing.
Can't do it. Sorry. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know why? You know why radio is paid so low, or television when you first get into the business? Because 99.9% of the population can do it. That's life. Sorry.
That's what.
Set yourself. If it's
Stephen A. Smith said something.
If it's
along
up to
those
you,
lines.
if it's up to you, make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been like, you give me a chance, I'm going to win. I'll bet on me every time. I will. Now, not tackling you, but you know what I mean? It's like, you get me in the door, I'll bet on me. I have no problem betting on me. That's not being cocky. You know what? I know I'm going to work every bit as hard as you are. I know that. That's the only thing I can control.
You wake up every morning with the mindset of, I will not be outworked.
Bam.
That's what it is.
Bam.
That's why you woke up this morning at 7:30, went to the gym. No one's going to outwork
No, you know
me.
what, Joique? We might, you and I, when we go to a job, we might work equally hard, but there's no way. When I was young, there was no way you were going to outwork me. It wasn't going to happen. Like, that was just always my mindset. I'm going to be better, at least with my work, and when you call me to work the crap shift, I'm going to be here. Well, wait a second, dude. You just worked a 6-hour shift. Don't worry, I got it. You know what? My boss comes here, comes takes over the station here, calls me right away. Immediately. We're 17 years later. 17 years, no, hold on. 20 years later. Calls me right away. Hey, can I take you out to lunch? Yeah, well, boy, I haven't seen you for a while. Halfway through lunch, hey, I'd like to offer you a job. You know why he did that? Because he remembers that idiot kid that slept at the radio station. You know what I mean? Seriously. And it's like, I tell people that all the time.
Full circle.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, come on, man. Like, people don't forget stuff. Chad's not going to forget that Art's worked his butt off around here. You know, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Hey, real quick, Art. Really quick. I know Black History Month is over with, but we lost a great one last night, yesterday. Vernon Jordan went to DePaul University, which in
Where?
his class, He went to DePaul, not DePaul, DePaul.
DePaul.
Yeah, and was the only African American student in this class. Ended up going to study law at Howard University. Survived a assassination attempt in 1980. Was very instrumental in the civil rights era. Even got to the point to where he was so well respected that he was giving advice to the presidents on things that was going on in the community. So condolences to him and his family. Our prayers goes out to them. So
no doubt.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Baligian the Bell
Can I
show.
do a
Before
quick
we go,
read?
we have one more read.
Thank you.
You should did.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Joique, you want to say goodbye now?
Yep. And Joique Bell, Sean Baligian. Catch you guys tomorrow. Gang, gang.